Hi, Praveet. I'm Mahatka. Feel free to call me Oog, or even some people really like to call me Yatko for some reason. I'm a young adult artist that kind of decided to quit slacking and start drawing for real and grow my Instagram and other social medias last year. And this is pretty much my debut kind of video on YouTube. Yeah. And this year, I've decided to spend my whole May focusing only on drawing hermits every single day, except for some Sundays. And I participated in Hermit A Day May. So, most likely, you already know what is hermit craft and who are hermits, but if not, let's just do a quick review. Well, Hermitcraft is a Minecraft server full of creative and old YouTubers that restart every year or two, and currently it's on its 10th season. And Hermit A Day May is a daily drawing challenge where I draw daily with an exception, yeah, as already said. And each day is basically a new person from Hermitcraft. It's fairly similar to Inktober, where you draw daily and you have a variety of prompts for each of the day. But it's about just fandoms that I usually into and I'm active in. I focus more on my own headcanons and character vision for hermits, so please don't go around and scream about how it's non-canon or weird or something is wrong. Thank you a lot if you don't. So let's actually move to the video. I just really wanted to talk about my experience as this is my first month-long daily draw challenge, and I think it was pretty successful. And it also brought me a couple of commissions. Psst, they're open. But also, I just really wanted to tell how I managed my time, my programs, my motivation for everything that I did throughout this month. As on average, I drew for 6 hours a day, daily. And as a non working person who's studying full time, it's a really good result for me that I was hoping for uh, several years, and it's just very refreshing for me to return to this kind of state. Moving on to some technicalities and preparation for the month. The main thing in preparation for a daily drawing challenge, at least for me, was to have a purpose and plan. I didn't have much time to actually prepare, like I did with my other weeks. But yeah, for this month I had several goals. One is more abstract, another is pretty real. The abstract goal was to develop this newborn style and to get comfortable with it. Just get a good idea of the pipeline and what goes where and afterward. More concrete and simple goals were just to practice more dynamic poses and human figures, as I felt like I'm starting to forget how to do it. I really struggled with some body types during the previous art challenges, and currently I'm. Емін! Привіт! Ну що? Ну що? Ну що? Емін! Китюню! Китюню, що таке? Скажи, будь ласочка, що це за мяу? My cat just wants a little bit of time to just herself. Okay. And currently I'm also learning furries and animals, so it's quite easy to lose a hand on how to draw people. The last thing that I wanted to get in the end are examples for commissions. That's it. Just examples with different people and hybrids, different lighting, different amount of details and textures, different poses. And I not just used it as an example, but also got commissioned because one person found my Tumblr with his artworks, which is great. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about file setups. So I use two different programs for my iPad. It's Procreate and it's Clip Studio Paint. For Procreate, the gesture drawing part, I used the journal option and marked it this way: date, number of page per day, number of total gestures drawn. Żopa! Okay. Okay. Um, for Procreate, the gesture drawing part, I used a journal option and marked it this way: date, number of page per day, number of total gestures drawn. I just really wanted to have a concrete amount of pages I have to draw daily and how much it is in total, and date, of course. Most of the days it was just 5 pages with two or three just drawings on each. But sometimes closer to the end of the challenge, I either skipped a day or just did only 1, 2, or 3 pages. So it wasn't something that I actually had to do a daily 5 pages with 10 gesture drawings. No, I just whatever I felt. Speaking of Clip Studio Paint file and the timelapse system, after I pick and drop the PNG of the gesture drawings on the Clip Studio Paint, there is a system. The first thing is to turn on the time lapses, and we will return back to it in a second. But basically, I draw stuff normally, then copy the flat colors and line art and merge them. It exists for no particular reason, but I really wanted to keep this part of the process and just turn it off later. But it's still there. I work on the art, and when I'm done, I just export my time lapse. I merge all of the layers together and put them in a folder and name it with the Hermit's name. And importantly, I restart the time lapse. Reason to this is that Clip Studio Paint tablets are freaking huge, and this document without them is already huge and pretty laggy. So instead of making it even more laggy and, I don't know, explode my iPad and get in a big trouble, I just export it and delete it and turn on for the next drawing. Sometimes though I forget to turn it on or off, so that's why we don't have all hermits or different timings for others. Why don't I just create a new file? Answer is dumb but real. I hate flooding my software gallery. I do sketches this way, just having a master file and layers and folders with different sketches, like a sketchbook with pages, you know? And the same applies to this challenge. And I probably overcomplicated it at this point, but really it's not that hard when you actually see the file and when you do it for a month. The second topic that I wanted to talk about is time and where to find it. But let's start from gestures. Gestures were the first thing I drew during the day. Because I'm studying in person, I usually drew them in class and between some classes if I had time. I think this part was taking me less than 3 minutes for each gesture and around 15 to 30 minutes for the whole thing a day. It wasn't too hard to find time during business days, but when it comes to Saturdays or holidays, I just used whatever I had earlier and I didn't do new gestures. And then for the main drawing. Main drawing starts as soon as I copy and paste the gesture drawing to the Clip Studio Paint. And well, again, studying is a big thing that stands between me and drawing, but at the same time, it allows for precise scheduling that doesn't feel forced, and it helps me with not overworking the artwork and myself. Basically, I finish with my gesture drawing part before or during the lunch, and then I have two pretty low interest and low workload classes where we either don't do stuff or it's very little attention needed. and I draw during that time. And then I come home and I finish it. It's mostly just texture work at this point. But then speaking about other projects and where I found time for them, other projects include basically anything else other than Hermit A Day May. So it's commissions, it's UHs, it's adoptables, it's my personal work. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. So speaking of them, most of the time I just did it after I'm finished with the Hermit A Day. I believe that I've spent on average 2 hours for Hermit A Day May, and then over 4 hours for my personal work. So really, Hermit A Day was just a really nice opportunity to warm up and actually get into this state of mind where I know that I need to work and I want to draw and I want to work and I want to do all of these different creative things that usually I don't think much about until I actually come home. And then there's a whole process of warm-upping that I did during the Hermit A Day May, during the first half of the day. So really, finding time wasn't really that hard as I thought it would be. It was much harder to find motivation daily, but we'll speak about it in the next part. But with time, really, it just was... I was drawing whenever I had time in my educational place. And this time, outside of the challenge, I would have spent on just scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, you know it. Speaking of how I felt during the start, the middle, and the end of the month of May, well, at the start it was all very rushed, tiring, and like really weird. Like I didn't get much time between the previous prompt week and this month every day until I guess Mambo was a struggle, and my hands and back really hurt from getting close to 4 hours of daily drawing. I think after falls it all became pretty positive, and I genuinely really like how the majority of Hermes came out. All bright and cute and a really good portfolio material. I didn't really notice how 4 hours turned into 6 or 8, and just generally it was all fine and fancy. But the last week, Korean Scar, they were a turning point. Like, you see, I'm mostly a Buttercup Trio artist, and they were a huge motivator for me to keep going. And they were placed right behind each other during the last week. And after they were done, I just felt like there wasn't much to do. Like, yes, there was Joel, also pretty interesting, but well. Also there was Ren. And him, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Randog, I ain't a furry artist, even though it's funny how I mostly get commissioned for furries. And I was very afraid of drawing Ren. I even cancelled the 3-bar week plans in late April because I just couldn't get a grasp at his design. It all seemed very weird and I don't know, nothing really stuck to me. Even though I love to see fan arts of him, but drawing him myself, it was really hard. Yeah. But yeah, I also would want to talk about some future stuff and maybe give you some tips if you would want to try prompt weeks and months for yourself. And let's start with them actually, yeah. The first thing is that you need to prepare. It's both a clear adaptive plan for every day and resources with sketches. Basically, write down your initial ideas, alternatives to them, gather references, inspirations, and work not from the day 1 to day 7, but as it comes to you, if you have time for that. Just give yourself as much preparation as possible. It will pay off during the days. Then probably think of scheduling and posting to social media. I would say that you should always prioritize the platform where the admins of the events are, and please don't be shy to clarify stuff or ask for help. During the last prompt week, my Tumblr account got literally shadow banned, and I had to create a whole new one. And you know what I did? I messaged the admins, and they helped me by reposting and shouting out to all the already uploaded works. And by the way, my old Tumblr account is still shadow banned. I can't use it. You should probably have clear understanding of why you're doing it. If the prompt week is just for fun, please don't go into details and literally just have fun. If you want to add examples to your portfolio, make sure that the styles are matching and absolutely do it. If you want to practice clothes, hair, render, light, or basically anything else, do that. Clear motivation is not just important for fictional characters. Real people, us, we need it too. We need clear, understandable motivation. But motivation shouldn't be just, oh, I want many followers. Guys, tested on myself on several social media accounts and platforms. As soon as you start wanting recognition, you're losing it. It's done for you. As soon as the thought of, oh my god, I want so much success, I want so much followers, commissions, people, it doesn't work. Like it just stops. I have no idea if that's a universe thing or something, but really, as soon as you start thinking of it, you're done. Have a clear motivation that can be fulfilled by yourself and yourself only. And it most of the time it would have to do with your own practice. It's not something that you have to rely on someone. But yeah, well, let's talk about the future. I'm definitely excited for the new opportunities in prompt weeks, zines, personal works, and commissions. It all will continue, and right now I'm actually preparing for the Redscape week on Tumblr in July. And now I would really want to thank some people that supported me. Honestly, all of my mutuals on Twitter and Instagram, you were extremely important to me. Like it is a pleasure to know you and have ability to chat and discuss stuff with you, of course. Additional thanks to my Kelly, who is my first Ko-Fi supporter, and of course Luna, the Hermit A Day admin, for creating this challenge. But yeah, I'll see you around, probably on different social media. As of right now, I'm not quite sure what to do with this channel, or if I even want to continue doing some video stuff. It would be an interesting experience, but I just feel like I don't have enough skills or even just confidence in myself that I can do it. So, yeah, see you around.